Hello everyone, welcome back to Modern Homesteading with Tessa. I'm Tessa and this is the channel where I show you how to feed yourself, which is kind of important these days. So today I have all of these peppers that I grew that I need to preserve. These are called cyclone peppers. They're pretty hot. Never grown them before, but they're really good, lots of flavor. They're like a Polish hot pepper, and I got the seed for free in a seed exchange. I do a lot of seed exchanges on like Facebook groups and stuff, and so I traded I think some celery seeds or something for these, and I just had a pack of like, I don't know, maybe a dozen seeds, and here we are now. And I'm also going to save seeds from these. So peppers are super easy to save seed from. They're pretty much self-pollinating, and these were grown in a greenhouse, so there wasn't a ton of pollinator action in there anyway. I did have a few different kinds. I had like 3 different kinds of peppers growing, but I'm gonna go ahead and save seeds from these because I highly doubt that they cross-pollinated. Then I'm also going to make some hot sauce, and I'm going to dry some to make chili powder. And then a bunch of these I'm gonna be taking with me. We're going to a friend's house later this week, and we always go there once a year and make a ton of salsa, like 200 jars of salsa in one day between the 4 of us, and it's a good time. So this is one of my contributions to the salsa. So without further ado, let's get after it. I'm aiming for just the really red ones. I'm gonna leave these green ones. We'll probably add this to our smoked tomatillo salsa, so I'm gonna save those for that. But I'm going for all the really, really red ones for my hot sauce. So of all the peppers that I grew this year, well, I grew Cyclone, obviously they did really well. I grew a variety called Datil. Do I have some here? Apparently I didn't bring any in. It's a little tiny orange pepper, also really hot. And those, they grew well, the plants, they just weren't that prolific. There's a lot of little green peppers on there still. So I'm gonna let those continue to mature. I grew some bell peppers that I had experimented with and saved seeds from a store-bought bell pepper. So it was a really red bell pepper just like this, and I saved seeds from it and grew them and grew a bunch of bell peppers, so that was cool. I'm also going to be saving seeds from that. And then I had planted several other varieties of peppers that just didn't do well. It's kind of hard to grow peppers here. They definitely have to be in a greenhouse. They want a little more heat than I've got. So I know I tried to grow Tabasco for like the 4th time, and the Tabasco peppers just don't like it here. All right, so I measured out about 5 pounds, and I'm gonna wear gloves because this is not my first rodeo. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is select my seed peppers. So I'm looking for peppers that look like what I want to grow again. So I'm looking at the size of them, how they're shaped. So I like, and they also, we want them to be very, very ripe. The more ripe that they are, the more viable the seed's going to be. So I'm just going to cut the end off and cut it down the middle. And then I'm going to just scrape all these seeds off into here. Pepper seeds are one of the easiest seeds to save. And I've already decided that next year I am gonna grow a ton of jalapenos because I need to save some jalapeno seeds. So I'm growing all jalapenos, but I'm gonna save these seeds because they last for years. Or I might want to do some trading, and I have the resources here, and so might as well. I absolutely love seed saving because I feel like it is like the ultimate in food security. So we save the seeds, and I'm Going to toss the stems in a bowl for the chickens to pick over. So next I'm going to be adding some vinegar. This is just distilled plain white vinegar. And I'm adding enough to just cover the peppers. So that was 14 cups. Let's go with 16 cups and see what that looks like. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to take this over and put it on the heat. Alright, and while that's starting to warm up, I'm going to cut up some shallots. Normally you'd put like garlic, but these shallots are not going to keep very long, and so I need to use them anyway, and I think they'll taste good, so let's go for it. They don't need to be cut up super small because this is all going to run through the food processor, so just small enough that it'll fit in the food processor, and I'm going to throw these into the pot as well. Alright, so we have come up to a boil, so I'm going to turn this heat down. Like that. And I'm going to let this simmer for 15-20 minutes, just until the peppers are soft and cooked down a little bit. So we'll be back. Alright, so then for stringing our stringing our peppers for drying, isn't that beautiful? All I'm going to do is literally take needle and thread, and we're going to go out a couple of arm lengths. Thread your needle and double your thread and put a knot in the two ends that come together. Then for my first base pepper, I'm going to choose one that's a large pepper with a really wide base, and I'm going to poke my needle through down really close to the actual pepper, but definitely through the stem. And then at the end, I'm going to just pass my needle through the two, threads to make sort of a little slip knot there to hold on to that. So that's a nice secure base. Then for every subsequent pepper, I'm just going to literally thread through the base of the stem and work my way on down. And I sort of start with like the bigger peppers, and as I get closer to the top, I do the smaller peppers. Just kind of helps with the stability of the whole thing. Alright, I'm almost done with these, so I'm just going to check on my hot sauce back here that's cooking, and I think I'm going to turn the heat off. As long as they're nice and soft, I will turn the heat off and start to let that cool down before I start trying to blend it. So the heat on the hot sauce is off. Hi, chicken. Beautiful. So then I'm going to just tie a knot in the end of this. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And there's my two pepper strings. So I'll take these in the house and hang them near the wood stove and let them dry out. As I'm cooking things, I can just pop one off of the string and add it to a pot of chili, or sprinkle it over some eggs, or grind some up and put it over some meat or whatever. And I can also continue to save seeds from these. So as these dry up, I could go through and pick, the prettiest ones that I like the most, and just you just break them open and crinkle the seeds out, and you can save the seeds that way as well. So yeah, so these will be great for the winter. And then what I could also do is, once they're nice and dry, is take them off and run them through the food processor and make a powder into it for chili powder. Okay. Let's move on to the hot sauce. All right, my peppers are nice and soft. They've cooked down quite a bit. And so I'm gonna start running them through my food mill. And then from my food mill, I'm gonna dump them into this strainer just so I can remove seeds and skin and stuff like that, and just make it a really nice smooth consistency. The quarts I'm going to process in boiling water canner for 15 minutes for long-term storage, and then the bottles I'll just keep in my fridge, and as I need more I will open up a jar and refill my hot sauce bottles. Alright, so there we go. There's our hot sauce. I ended up with just over a gallon, so a gallon and some change, which I'm stoked on. So that might last us a year, maybe. The flavor is fantastic. It's not super hot. It's not like punch you in the face hot, but there's definitely some heat there, and the flavor is fantastic. I'm super happy that I added those shallots in there. I also have my strung peppers that will dry, and those will be great to add to meals as well. And I still have peppers to make into salsa. And we can't forget the ultimate food preservation. I also have all of my seeds. And so this is future hot sauce and future salsa and future chili powder. Yeah, all around great day of preserving peppers. It really didn't even take me that long. What time is it? 3 hours to do all of this. So that's amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you like this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.